Welcome to Chris Cook for YouTube. Today, let's talk ham. Now, here is a ham. I know a lot of you will be making hams for Thanksgiving, and I have found that the best ham for me, and I'm not saying it may necessarily be the best one for you, is a spiral cut ham. And the reason why you use a spiral cut ham is because all of the slices are proportioned, and if you have a lot of guests, and most families do have a lot of guests during the holiday season, everybody will be able to get equal slices instead of somebody cutting off more than they probably can eat, and then it ended up being discarded. So I want to talk about hams for a minute. First of all, a lot of people call me and they always talking about how do I cook the ham. Real simple. On the package, right on the label. Sometimes if it's not on the label, it's on the back of the label. If it's not on the back of the label, it's inserted inside of this plastic. Inside of that, you will find your cooking instructions. Follow those instructions. Why do I say that? Because these companies make ham for a living. This is what they do. So they know how their product is best cooked. So you want to follow those instructions to a T, and they want you to do the same thing because they want your business next year. So they're going to make certain that whatever they tell you is going to be the proper way to cook their particular item that they're selling, whatever it may be. Now, I follow the instructions. I deviate on a lot of things, but I follow the instructions when it comes to my ham. Now, sometimes there's a lot of people, they may use a cured ham. They may use hams that are not spiral cut. I'm talking about prepackaged hams that you're going to be buying in the store. These hams will not carry as much salt in them as the hams that you may go and pick up from a farm. It'll be a lot more salt. I remember my grandmother having to boil her hams before she could even bake them. But with these hams, all you have to do is pop them in the oven. Now, normally it will also give you the cooking instructions for your stove, what temperatures you have your stove set on. You will have your stove pretty much, and I'm just going to guess right here, at 375, and it will give you the pounds. It will tell you cook it so many minutes, normally it's 15 minutes, for the amount of pounds of the ham that you have. So what you would actually do is to multiply the amount of cooking time per pound by the amount of pounds that you have. So this is a 10-pound ham, and it's telling me to cook it for 15 minutes per pound. So what I would do is multiply my 15 by my 10, and then I'm going to come up with how much cooking time I need for this particular item. Now, when you cook your ham, place the face of your ham down on you can use a cookie sheet. So place it down. You can use a cooking sheet. You can use anything that's flat because you're not going to get a lot of drainage from this ham. So place it down on your pan. You don't need to cover it, and then just bake it off in the oven. One good thing about hams, and I have a preference for a particular brand and a particular type, but you know, I won't bring that up because I'm not promoting any company. But a lot of your hams are color coated with foil. That foil is very important because what that foil actually tells you is what type of flavor you're going to get from that particular ham. I have seen praline hams. I have seen apple spice hams. I've seen all types of ham. Brown sugar ham. I love brown sugar ham in the dark brown wrapper. I don't think you can beat that one because it has the best flavor to me, and that's the one that I try to get. But normally when you get to the markets, if you go late, like you're going to be cooking your ham for Thanksgiving or for Christmas, if you go to the markets like maybe 1 week prior to the holiday, all of the brown sugar hams would be sold out, and then the only thing that you're going to have left is going to be something that you will not want to actually use. You'll have a preference to use something else, like you'll have a preference to say use the brown sugar ham, but you when you get there, they only have the red wrapper ham, so that's what you end up with. So to make certain that your holiday season will go exactly like you want it when it comes to buying whatever items you're going to have, try to make certain that you get those items in enough time whereas you can have them. Make sure that they will be there for your guests. So you want to make certain that you get to the store early enough, but not so early that you don't catch the sale on that item. So now, like I told you, I like a spiral cut ham. But unfortunately, this is not a spiral cut ham. It doesn't matter because I'm making this video at least a month and a half, almost 2 months prior to Thanksgiving. And the reason why I'm doing this, I'm going to post it right around Thanksgiving time. But during that time, I will have a spiral cut ham. But now I just want to tell you some particulars about the actual ham and cooking the ham. Now, I'm also going to show you how to make this ham look attractive when you get ready to set it on your buffet table or you get ready to set it on your dinner table. For that, you will need some cherries, and this is jar cherries. This is maraschino cherries. You will need a can of sliced pineapples, and the flavor pack normally comes inside of this ham. If you're using a particular flavored ham, the pack will be in there. But if you don't have the pack, I'm going to just make a brown sugar glaze. I may or may not make it, and all you will need for that is just some brown sugar, and you'll need some water in order to make that glaze. But that's going to be down the line before you put the glaze on the ham. So I'm going to go away. I'm going to get this ham baked, and when I get near to completion of baking this ham, I'm going to come back, and then we're going to add the glaze if I prefer it, and we're going to add the cherries, and we're going to add the pineapple slices to it. The only thing else you will need is some toothpicks. So I'm going to get my ham together, turning it down on the baking sheet and putting it in my oven, and I'll be back when it's completed. Okay, now I have my ham on the baking sheet. As you can see, this is about a 3/4 of an inch tall baking sheet, and this is all that you really need because you're not going to get a lot of liquids from it. And the package instructions told me to cook this on 325 degrees, which I'm going to do, and I'm going to cook it for roughly 2 hours for this 10-pound, it's a little bit over 10-pound ham. So when I get almost done, I will bring it back, show you how to decorate this ham, and that'll be it. Be right back. Okay, now we're going to take the ham out of the oven. The ham is done. Just want to show you what it looks like, and I'm going to dress this ham, and I'll show you that in about 5 minutes. I'm going to let it sit for 5 minutes, and then I'm going to dress it at the table and put it back in the oven. I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm back, and here is my brown sugar. And I said you could mix it with a little bit of water, but actually you can mix it with whatever you want. And if you need it to be just a little bit thicker, you can cook it with a little bit of cornstarch and water to get your glaze just a little bit thicker. Or you can just go ahead and pour. What I'm doing is I'm using some of the pineapple juice that came from the can of pineapples that I'm going to be putting on here, and I'm going to stir this just until I can get like a little light coating that I can put onto my ham. Now, you won't have to worry about this because if you're going to get a pre-sliced ham 9 times out of 10, it's going to already have a glaze in it, so you don't have to worry about putting a glaze on it. I do have to worry about it because this ham, I didn't read the package instructions, and that's something that you never want to do. But this ham, not only was it not spiral, but it did not have a glaze in it, and it's only just the flavor of the ham. I don't have an actual flavor coming from this ham except for the flavor of the ham. So in other words, this is not a ham that would be like a brown sugar glaze, or it would be like a different type of glaze on top of it. I don't have that. So once you get the consistency that you're looking for, and this is about what you're looking for, then you're going to glaze your ham. Now this is the same pan that I took the ham out of the oven on, and because I have this little indent on this ham, I'm going to use this as the base of the ham, so when I sit it down, it won't move as much, if that makes some sense. Now, my bone is down here on the ham, so you want to have your bone closest to your pan. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to take this off of the pan when I get ready to serve it, and I'm going to put it on a clean pan. But for right now, it's getting ready to go back in the oven so I can use this same pan. But you want to keep your bone low, that way you'll get more meat slices from the top of your ham. So I'm going to turn this ham up, and I'm using 2 forks to turn it up. Okay, you can use whatever it is that you have. You can just go ahead and use that. Can't get my fork out now. There you go. Okay, now if you need something to prop on, I can even go this way a little bit. I think it's going to be better this way. If you need something to prop on, then you can prop on a little piece of aluminum foil, and that's going to hold your ham up. So what I'm going to do is, since this is tilted, see how it's tilting back? I'm going to go and get me a piece of aluminum foil, and I'll be right back. Okay, now I have this piece of foil. I went and got the foil. So what I'm going to do, try to get it so you can see what it is that I'm doing. I'm going to prop it underneath my ham. See? I made like a wedge for the back of my ham. Okay? And I'm going to sit my ham up on that, which is exactly what it's doing now. See how I wedged it? Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to place, I'm going to start to put my brown sugar all over my hand. Now what's going to happen with this brown sugar, it's going to glaze up and shine. Okay? I guess I could have used another tool other than a spoon, but that's okay. And it's only going to take like 15 minutes for it to do it. And I got to turn it back to you because I have to be able to see this go down on it. And you don't worry about the pan that you're using, because I'm not going to use this pan anyway, nor are you. So I'll turn it back around to you once I get my glaze. Now if you have a brush like your barbecue brush, you can use that to just get this all over your ham. Okay, a real simple thing to do. So let me see if I can show you what I did. Now that brown sugar is going to melt. See what I did? The brown sugar is going to melt. And once that brown sugar melts, then I'm going to get the glaze that I'm looking for. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my pineapples, and I'm going to place my cherries. So you take a whole pineapple, put your cherry in it, and you take a toothpick and you stick it. Okay, now you can take out your cherry stems. I didn't take mine out, but you can take yours out if you want to, or you can leave them in. It really doesn't matter. So you want to continue doing this all the way around your ham. Now, if one of your pineapples breaks, see how that one broke? Then make certain that you put that part of it down. Okay? Don't put it up. Okay, now if you need another little straw to help hold that pineapple in place, go ahead and stick it in there. Okay? Now, I'm going to finish up. I'm going to show you, I've shown you how to do this, and I'm going to go around and finish it, because when I have it toward you, then I can't see what it is that I'm back here trying to do. So, let's put one more right there. I'm going to stick it with the cherry, and I'm going to stick it into my ham. And you want to stick it all the way in, okay, as far as you can get it. Now, when I get through with that, I'm just going to glaze up. This is my brown sugar mix. I'm just going to glaze up my pineapples just a little bit. So I'm going to go away, finish getting this all, because I don't want this video to be too long. I'm going to finish getting this done. And once I get it done, I'll show it to you before I put it in the oven, and I'll show it to you once I take it out the oven. I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm back, and there it's all done. Okay, now this one I'm going to have to cut myself, as I told you. But I'm going to go ahead and stick this over in the oven. And then once it comes out, I'll show you what the finished product looks like. Be right back. Okay, now I'm all back, and here is the finished product. I started to cut off a couple of slices, but my dinner is not ready yet. Okay, normally I would have gotten a spiral ham. I definitely would not have gotten one that was not already pre-sliced, especially when you're having a lot of company. So just wanted to show you how to do this and show you just what to do with these hams that you're going to be getting over the holiday. Now, Thanksgiving is coming up, and so is Christmas. Don't know when you're going to buy your hams, but I do want to say happy holidays to you, and thank you for watching Chris Cook for You Too. I hope you are enjoying your cookbook. Bye.